Mr. Foster. How are you doing?
If you say good morning to me, I'll say good night to you.
Ah,
It's 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 afternoon now, sir. So I'll say good night to you.
yeah, you ought to know why. I get so used to doing these morning shows. How are you, my friend? It's great to have you. And I'm a serious fan of yours. Yes, I am. And how is your lovely wife and the family there at the workplace?
I tell you, they are fantastic. I call it my two girls. They're
Yeah,
one is at school and one is at work,
yes.
and they're doing very well.
Oh no, one
And
is working already? No, you
the
look
one is
like
at
you're a
school.
young
No,
boy.
no. I mean, my two girls. I mean, my wife and my daughter. Yes,
Oh,
two girls.
well, you're not easy. Now I understand what you mean. And I know you can tell us all about what when you have a great family. And we love family is very important. And those of us who have had to be separated and so on, it's very sad. But we know that when you have a good spouse, it can really
Absolutely,
make a big difference in your life.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
The first thing I must commend you about is that I don't know if everybody finds this about you. Well, things I've heard about you. You have done well, your family has done well, but you're still Cecil, a Jamaican where nobody can reach out to. You're still a caring person. That's what I
I,
sense about you, you know?
I am, I can't believe that I can't be anything else. I have to be what I am. I am first Cecil and a human being,
Yes.
and nothing, all the trappings should mean not as much as the character that you exhibit based on your relationship with the divine God. And so um, I'm sorry if I am just me. That's what I am, you know.
So when I say Cecil Foster, OJ, you just say, yeah, Cecil.
Ah,
Cecil Foster,
I
PhD.
just remind you that it's Cecil Foster. You know, right, right.
I know. When I will tell you, you have some persons who have reminded persons in the past. OJ, PhD.
Oh my
And I tell you,
goodness.
there are only two categories in the world. And all everybody is separated in terms of color, in terms of money. The only two classes you have, the living one and the dead one.
And
And we are alive. It's great to have you, my friend. Now, we have a few more minutes. Tell us a bit about the history of that company you have and the family spirit and the fact that I think you do well because I've been close to that place for a number of years because you have a family spirit there and you care for your workers. Tell me about the history and where you're at right now.
amazing. The story is told that I started out. I mean, I'm from Clarendon. He's Clarendon, right there in the heart of the Sun Belt.
I thought you came
Um,
from a good parish. Oh, I'm vexed. I was hoping you'd come from Chilani.
no, seriously, it has to be the best parish in the world. I mean, Clarendon. That's I don't understand why you make that kind of a drastic mistake.
Yes.
And came to Kingston, and in coming to Kingston, of course, couldn't even find a way around. I tried to find a job as a millwright person that worked in machine shops
Yes.
to repair or make parts. And while that was happening, I went to school to finish my education in the evenings and so on. And so I got a job, didn't know what it was all about, but I wanted to do something to make a little bit more for myself. And that was a sales job. And I quickly learned the job I was told and became real a real important person to the company in terms of what I was doing for them. And it wasn't more than about 3 or 4 years that I recognized that I was moving in a direction that was different from the organization. And I sat with my boss and told him that I really think that I'm going to, you know, be on the other side. Instead of being a salesperson, I'm going to be a business person. And he, nice guy, fabulous guy, one of my mentors even
Yeah.
today. And he sat me down and said, okay, what are you going to pay me if you should buy the goods from me? I said, what I want thing, I want you to leave the route, the south route for me, and I wanted to tell you that I'm going to credit the goods from you. And he laughed at me as if, you don't have any money, so what are you gonna how are you gonna do this?
I sound like a madman.
I tell you.
Yes.
And then I went to him and I think I convinced him a little to allow me to
Yeah.
go and get a 15-day credit here and so on. And I worked my everything off just to make sure that I could pay him each fortnight. And then keep modifying and growing the business
Mhm.
um, governance and put a plan in place. And that's where FosRich started. We started right here on Constant Spring Road with a little 10 by 10 space, just a little warehouse space where I would get the goods from the market and I would store it there and I would take an order from persons who want these goods and I would go and deliver it. Mark you, this thing happened right there when the economy was upside down, when FinTech took over almost
Which year
almost
was
all.
that? It's upside
It's
down. You sure there was an
1993,
economy?
1993, 1994,
I'm not too
when
sure there was
the
an economy. I remember quite well Ponzi
that's a good
schemes and all that kind of thing. But you're that smart man. You should get into all the Ponzi scheme and you'd make some money. You're gone, but oh,
I got
probably you've been
into,
gone
of
to
course, I
prison
got
by
into the
this.
one that I know, hard
Mm.
work. I got
Ah,
into that one.
oh, so you're telling the young people now that the fast lane sometimes you come fast, you want things fast, and end up fast, go to the next world. So you're the hardworking one.
Do you know,
Yes,
I was working so hard. I never knew about the Ponzi scheme came after we had a couple of years on our belt, but I
yes,
never knew about it. It's one night. I was on the church grounds of Andrews, and there were some elders and some people were talking about
yes,
this,
yeah.
this scheme that was out there that was giving them multiples of 10, in returns. And I stood up there as a pretty young man and I watched what they were saying and listened to them. And they were telling me how they sold their whatever it is and they pump it into this thing and they're
Uh,
getting X amount for it.
house and land
And,
too.
and yes, and I stood
Yeah.
up there and I said, but what in this earth could this man be doing so he could give you um, 20 and 30% interest on your money? It never struck me as something I should.
Probably he was
Uh,
praying to God and the money was falling like manna from heaven.
he wouldn't treat it that kind of a way. When you get something from God and you get it, you would treat it differently. And so
I
they went belly up. These guys, a few months after, they were running up and down and they went belly up. And I was there because of hard work. I was there doing my buying and selling and then building FosRich. And never looked to the right or to the left.
but
I
it
think
was a
God.
fast rich then it must have been fast poor.
you
And
know,
somebody might here be talking about fast rich, I think I'm talking about money. But I know when it comes to customer service, you're quite rich. When it comes to caring, you're quite rich. Spreading your wings is quite rich because many persons think that merit is to have money. But I think that if you do what is right, it makes you rich.
so, yes, so Darby, I can tell you, I, I, I've openly stated it that
Yeah.
I have some of the best relationships in my life with the people who are part of my team.
Yes, yes.
I know the entire family. I know, I mean, from grandmother to mother to father to whatever. And so, and I listen to their pains and I try and do all we can to help them and their children and so on. So you're right. Without the relationship that they know that they can, engender through knowing the leadership of FosRich. Possibly some of them would not be around. I mean, I tell you, some people would not be around. And I have
Well,
also said to my team, that is one of the winning strategies going forward, where you treat, if I'm not around, where you treat the people who are part of your team will make you win or make you lose. And so you are right.
so you make sure indoctrinate that in them. So if any one of them become as bright as you and decide to move on, and they just might do, that they carry that same spirit because you can't do it alone. You're successful through people. What about that company that you used to work for that you're bright enough? Go and tell the man about your You're going to be on the other side. Is he still around?
Yes, it's still around. I really appreciate, I probably won't call a name, but
Yes.
I really appreciate the management. There are about three brothers of them and a sister and or two, and they are still in the business. The thing about it is that we have gone into the business and we have integrated ourselves into the economy in such a way that we have solar, we have electrical, we have industrial electrical, and we have manufacturing, and we have transformer business, and we have LED business. So we have moved into uh, uh,
Mm.
a different kind of we call it offering from what they were offering. You know, they are still in the business
Yes, yeah.
offering electrical and so on, while we have gone wider than that. So you will see that we look to be a lot larger than they are. And that's just life because we have taken a wider footprint and we're working those
I can
footprints.
tell you why. I can tell you why you have now become fast rich. No, because I'm fast poor. I said, no, my electricity bill is too high. So I hear about this company. So I flash come down here. I went and I learned about LED. All I know about LED is LED, the bus don't
No,
need,
no.
right?
We
Yeah.
we pride ourselves in living by our name. We
Yes.
make the customers rich. And that's what and so we find all these technologies that will get people to keep a little bit more money in their pocket, like LEDs. In fact, I heard somebody telling a story that we were the first company to have brought LEDs to Jamaica as a commodity product.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
when LED tubes came to Jamaica, for instance, when the 4 feet LED tube came to Jamaica, that tube was being sold for $6,800 then. And we convince people by showing them the value that they get from using an LED compared to a fluorescent. And can you imagine now that same product is less than $1,000? So people are getting richer just by the fact that we have LEDs operating to the market.
Well, I want to tell you something about that. Uh, that I was with another radio company. I'm sure you know which company that is.
Yes,
And the electricity bill was extremely high. And
right.
of course, we said, boy, we need a little more money so if we can help them save, they'll probably give me a little more money. So I reached out to JPSco and they came and they assessed the place and they found out there was incandescent bulbs, not cutting it at all. And so I got linked with you and I'm almost sure that's where they bought quite a lot of their bulbs. And I came down, they had a marketing manager, I think he's no longer there, he's in North America.
Right.
And since then, I've been spreading the message and spreading the
I
word.
appreciate it.
And plus, there's another thing about me, which I think you know. I tend to love to associate with good people. I think it's infectious. And I just like you can't catch flu if you go near the people who has the flu. If you move with good people of good intention, then I think that evil people are like, oh, yeah, yeah, man, you can't be your car and trouble follow you. So I said to people, you go to somewhere, good people. Like I work with good people. I can tell there's a gentleman who went to a store, and he probably is listening to me now. And he's an evil man, and he's known into the furniture business. And many people are probably bawling now, crying. And he went and took a store from a store, and he hasn't paid for it at all.
Oh
And he has
my
taken
goodness.
business from people. You talk about thousands of dollars, like 500,000 and so on.
Yeah.
And up to now, the people can't get the furniture,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
So I warned the store because people do this. One thing about me, I'm telling you, I don't know, everybody seems to trust me. They call me and ask me about people, even for employment. I don't know when I fall myself to that category. And
You're a good man. You're a good man. That's
they
why.
called me and asked me, I said, what, you mad? But they still went ahead and do business with the man. Where the stove is gone, and I think that money is now gone. So I advise people, go to places that treat customers well, treat them with respect and love them. And
Amazing.
yes,
You're
so
pro-
FosRich is not just FosRich for itself, it's FosRich for the people.
I
I
think
love
so.
that.
I think so because right now we have
Yes,
one of the most friendly return policies.
yes.
We probably don't even ask you too much about what you did with the product. We will, of course, ask you a question or two, but most times we're going to return something new for what you have damaged, even if you damage it and something like that. but we have a pretty good return policy because we know that sometimes things happen. Sometimes you take the goods and you're traveling with it to your home, and cause it to get knocked over.
And I think I know why you have that policy, you know. You go to some stores that says, what? No refund, no return.
Right.
But when I see that sign, you see, so what? No refund, no return, I shall not return.
That's a good one. Yes, yes.
Therefore, if you have a
Return,
return,
yes,
a friend, Mark, you have some dishonest customers. I know you, I'm quite aware of that. But
yes,
sometimes people make some genuine mistakes. It's better to have a
yes.
customer for the next. I remember when I did the outside broadcast at your place, and a man tell me, same doing business with you for your start. When you treat people good, they're not going to leave you out. And I will tell you, if your company falls into challenges, certain challenges now, I'm sure that many of staff might see better things outside, but they're not going to run so quickly. They're
I
not going to
think
run
I
so
think
quickly.
one of the fundamental things that I've always said to the people who are part of my team, Sir Darby, is that we are in the people business. We we are not in the business for ourselves. I can't buy the products and stock it up at my house and so on. The people out there have to purchase these products and get benefit from it. And so all of the pillars that make them get benefit, we have to look to make sure that they are really getting benefit from products that we sell. We pride ourselves in offering products that save a lot of money in people's pockets. Like right now, we are having huge give back starting today. It's going to be for 2 weeks where we are giving
Yes.
almost thing is like 60% off, and a lot of them fall in the category of solar. And people, as you know, can use solar products for your garden, for your wall lamps outside, for your driveway, for everything to
I
save
bought
you.
my first FosRich flashlight from you. It's a solar flashlight. What?
You still
Yeah.
have it? You still have it?
Oh, yeah. Listen, man. I have another one, you see. We plug it in, it goes up, it lights up for almost about 3 hours. I call it my standby bulb.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. So we try to find ways
Yes.
of living by our name. And it's not about us becoming better
Yes.
in getting more in our pockets, but it's to have the customers, the people of Jamaica, becoming better by doing business with us at FosRich. And so we appreciate them truly.
And by the way, you're moving out. You have your headquarters there in on Malines Road, but you have other offices across Jamaica, right?
Um, yeah, we have decided that we are executing a kind of a footprint across the country.
Yes.
And we have now one more leg to go, one more, I mean, leg to plant across the country. We have, what, 8 locations now across Jamaica.
Yes.
What we want to do is to be able to, as we say, wrap ourselves around the customers so they can get to us, or we can get to them within an hour or so of they requiring our services. So if you're in Mandeville, you can get to us from St. Elizabeth. And if you're in Montego Bay, we have 3 locations now in Montego Bay. You can get to us in Montego Bay. In fact, we have a fully organized hardware, company in Montego Bay that is called the Bayside Hardware, and so we supply tools and we supply construction equipment uh,
Yes.
all over all over Jamaica. So we are able to reach a lot of people as quickly as possible. And of course, we have in Kingston, and we have one small one in St. Catherine,
It's
and we have
Linston
this one, not in Linston, in Old Harbour,
in
and we
Old
have
Harbor. Right, right.
one now at Drax Hall, where that middle section of the country, north part of the country, was always asking for a FosRich presence there. And that's what we have.
And I know something is true. You open that hours where we have to big time off.
Yeah, going forward,
Let me
we
tell you, I'm
are
gonna go for the break and come back. I need
okay.
time off now to come back to you. And I see why you look young and fresh. You know how to laugh and how to relax because when you do business after a certain amount of years, it becomes stressful, but you seem to still know how to laugh. We're talking with Mr. Cecil Foster, Chairman, man in charge of FosRich, who is telling you why FosRich is rich not just because of money, by good customer service, by how he does things, how he treats his customers. And this is not a program just for him. It's a program for those who are listening, those other business persons, to learn from him. Gonna go for the break. Vernon Darby, this is Spot On, the Business Program, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, where we say we little but we Talawa. So come back, don't move. Welcome back. You're listening to Spot On with Vernon Darby, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. We're right here in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, beautiful island. If you're listening overseas, but they're in Miami, New York, wherever you are. And we have listeners also in the United Kingdom. Of course, my friends in the rest of the Caribbean, Cayman. Yeah, one of my friends in Cayman. You guys always keep in touch with me. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I've heard from my Trinidad friends. And you hear from you all. I don't know you won't talk to me there from Trinidad. Well, so live go. Back with the man from who is rich, not because of money, but rich because he's in charge of a company and his wife in charge of a company where they offer service. They care for the customers. And he's preaching the word here today. He's a man of God, but he's preaching the word, which is godly, a godly word to how you treat people. Because I'm telling you, Mr. FosRich, yeah, your name change. But I'm I don't say it because when you talk about the company, I want you, I'm glad that you're here. That's why I asked them to get you so you can preach the word. And whatever we talk about today, I'm going to make sure it's circulated because I think other business persons need to learn from you. Business is not about just putting money into your pocket. If you treat the customers right, they stick with you, right? And they will put
Yes.
money in your pocket.
Right, right. I think the essence of life
Yes,
extends beyond your individual possession. And then if we should understand that, especially those who are called to live for the divine maker, if we understand that, we will be more clear in our philosophy as to how we execute our daily activities as they
yes,
relate to people. I have also developed in the last number of years now, and it is clear in my mind that we were born to be architects. It is similar to what happened when the plan of salvation, God said, was laid from the foundation of the earth. It's the
yes.
same thing. Philosophy, and that says you are an architect, is something that you as an individual
Mhm.
need to, think about what you want, how you want to live, and how you're going to do it, and then write it down and then go and execute it. So you are every single day executing from a blueprint. So you design even what you want to say to your
Yes.
friend, you want to respond or you want to react. Because a lot of times we just react because business is tough. There's no doubt about it. You don't have
That's why I
uh,
know how
uh,
come you're so cool. You need to tell us. It's rough. Are you started business when things were not fast rich at all, it was fast poor. No man, when things were upside down, you must tell us.
at all levels,
Yes,
it's gonna be tough. When you have little resource to do what you want to do, it's gonna
yes.
be tough. When you think you have enough resource to do what you want to do, that's also tough because you have to make sure that you are doing it the right way. Because one of the most what do you call it now, ungrateful things in the world is this thing called money. If you don't do the right things with it, it will burn you up. It will destroy you. If you have it and you don't invest it right, so it can beat back the pressure of inflation, then you are gonna get have less. And if you have it and you want it, you have to do the things to make sure that you are getting the returns that you want.
And if you
So
don't think wisely, if you think Usain Bolt can run, that the money run faster than Usain Bolt and disappear by the time you quint your eye.
that is it. And so this is what Sir Darby, what I was alluding to.
Yes.
Your philosophy must drive your actions. And
Mhm.
so um, you design, I tell people sometimes I design exactly what I'm going to say to people who I know will come in my presence today and how I am going to respond to them and so on
Yes.
before they really come into my presence.
Yes.
And so and it's godly because God wants you to design, I mean, your life. We are designing and building out what we call a 2027 vision plan, which we have already designed and put it on paper, and we are working that. And that gives us an opportunity to have our managers, because presently we started out with 2 people. Today we have 240 people. So we
Yes.
have to use a governance structure that
Mhm.
is going to feed from the energy and the policies that we establish. And
Yes.
so that is what we are doing, that the managers must execute in a particular way that represents not only themselves, but the company, first of all, and the spirit that drives the directors of the company.
Right. Let me ask you something. You tend to come across, you communicate very well, I must tell you, and you tend to come across as very reserved. You don't seem to like the limelight. But I'm telling you, that's not fair to Jamaica. I have interviewed, I've talked with many persons, and I will, no, I'm going to show off. That would be like you're going to show off. I've met from the national heroes from Bustamante, all the prime ministers of Jamaica. I know them personally. But you, I must tell you, as a person, where you come across, you have a message which probably is a stronger message than all the political leaders put together. And while we need politics in Jamaica, we also need someone like you to preach a new message. You have been preaching since you've been here, but I think it is time that sometimes you go out there and you preach the word. Because what matters sometimes is how you treat people. You talk about your refund policy. You talk about how you treat your staff, how you think what you're going to say to them before you even say something to them. That message needs to permeate the whole society. The violence and the crime we have in Jamaica, it stems from how we relate to one another, how we treat with one another. When are you going to step out and when will you find the time to have somebody to do some of your work at the company so you can go out and speak to the
I,
nation? So I'm very serious about that. I'm putting that challenge to you.
all right, let me say this. I think I have a platform that I presently God has given me,
Yes,
and on any given day,
yes.
I have, a lot of people, that I have to interface with and talk with and so on. Some of them are in
No,
my
you're sounding
employment.
political. You have not answered my question.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Yes,
And then some are outside of the country who we
yes,
communicate through emails and WhatsApp.
yes,
And some of them are Spanish people. Some of them are, from Asia and so on. And so I I, I do have a platform. Um, previous, I can tell you, years ago, I think it may be about maybe 12 years ago or so,
yes, yes,
my wife and myself were very much instrumental in um, evangelism, in preaching.
yes, yes, yes.
We used to do, I mean, 3 and 4 weeks events in Rock Hall, in other parts of Kingston, and in downtown. This on whatever, I forget the street name. We have
Yes.
done these things, and people have given their lives to Christ. And something happened where it is clear that God shifted me or us from doing it that kind of a way,
Yes,
and He's using us now to um, influence and to support ministries across the country and maybe even outside of the country. So He Himself, as far as we are concerned, has done this shifting. So while we might not be there every single day
yes, yes, yes.
and teaching and so on, we are doing it as a daily duty to Him.
You won me. You have won me over. So I'm not going to argue anymore. I know it just crossed my mind. Um, well, that's why you're here. Suppose I was a DJ and I would hear, "Gal, you this and that, and gal, you what, and you." I wonder if I would be getting your support. I wonder. You don't have to respond to that.
if can you tell me the essence of that question? The question is, if you were a DJ, if I would
And I'm
come
talking
on
to
your
you,
show.
DJ, I actually not say what I want to say on air. But I know many of my listeners will pick up what I'm saying because they know when I speak, there's far more that goes on behind that speech and they pick it
Right,
up.
right, right.
So when I said gallo this and gallo that, gallo this and gallo that, this and that means something else. And if I was that kind of character, you wouldn't support me at all. So it is possible that you have changed your role so that people like you will have some money. So when you see the good things are happening, you will support the good things. Because I can tell you there are some of us, if Vernon Darby should go to prison tomorrow and charged for cocaine or murder or anything, and I come back out, there are some business persons who will be glad to put me on the front page and to have me represent them. I'm not asking, I'm
Yes.
just telling you. You don't have to
Okay.
respond. You can be a
Fine,
good
fine,
guy. I'm
fine.
just telling you. So,
Yes, you want to have, I mean, two things here I think you're getting at. One is the lifestyle, and
yes.
one is the mission that you're on. Your mission is all about people. If, for instance, my mission in FosRich is to drive an image of honesty, trust, and commitment, and so on, and that does not fall in line with a show, then I'm not going to go there.
Ah, I see.
I'm
I
not going to
see.
go there. However, it is not for me to stay away from the person who has that kind of a propensity, because you can't be salt and you stay away from I mean getting involved
I follow.
and try and
I
change and try
follow.
and encourage and try and so on. Don't
Guess
be
what? I
afraid
want to go
to
for the
try.
break, but you hold me that I'm going to have to hold a little longer. When we come back, I want to tell me the vision, where you plan to go, where the company plans to go, and then if you're children into business or what you plan for us, Fast Rich next year. Are you going to become fast richer? Gonna go for the break. Time for some great music. When we come back, we continue talking to a really inspirational man, and I hope you're learning from him. I hope all business persons who are listening will tell you why his company is called FosRich. He has good reason, but I'm calling it FosRich because its name and its nature, and it is how they operate. If you want to be rich, make people rich, and they will make you richer. This is Spot On with Vernon Darby, Pastor Boy. We're going to get some music going. We're going to stay a little while and enjoy the music and come back to you. Don't move. So come back.
I don't know who you are, and I don't know where you are. God said to tell you, it's already done. My friend, you're coming out. You're coming out. God is speaking. I see you wondering why if in the midst of your adversity. God is speaking. But if you don't trust in me, I will supply your need. I will take you over. I will take you over. I will never leave. To you I will give. I'm standing right in the midst of your faith. I will be your God of mine. Stay close to me, my son. It's already done. The victory is mine. It's already done. I will not die here, even though
Oh, yes. Great music and
the
positive music
victory
lifting your spirit on this
is
Monday
already
afternoon.
done.
And of course, we have Mr. Cecil Foster, the man who runs things at FosRich. And we want to ask him, the country must have a future. I know that you have to work within the national parameters, but probably you can also lead the way. And I know Christmas is coming up and you have great things coming for consumers. Tell us about that and tell us about your vision for FosRich and the country, Jamaica.
All right, for right now, we are having, starting today, a give back at all our branches across Jamaica. Whether you're in Montego Bay, Drax Hall, whether you are in Mandeville, Kingston, you can go to the fast food store. Some of the locations have tents on the outside with real knockdown prices on many products that can help you to save more in your pocket. I can tell you that they are awesomely priced. Most of the products, from or manufactured pipes to the solar products that we have, outdoor lamps and wall lamps. And
Mention the solar again, sir, because I know we might get a little respite from GC and the electricity bill going up. So You know, the
Yeah,
solar is very important to us.
so you can do both ways. You can get a little bit respite from the reduction in GCT on products, but it was not available on solar anyway. So solar products never attracted GCT. You won't see that.
Beautiful. Great to hear that. Right.
So we are offering as we speak. I see many people are in the store benefiting from these products. What we have said here at FosRich is that we want to make people better, people who are in our space and the people who are outside of our space, who we call customers or friends or
Right.
clients.
I have another minute left. So the final points you want to make and
Yes, and so
contact information.
we want to just build a system around the people so we can offer them the value that they want every single day. We are at FosRich.com if you want to find us. We have 9375099 is our telephone number, and we can send you or tell you exactly where to find the other branches once you call that number. And we have great engineers and customer service persons and salespersons who can help you to get what you want once you call us at FosRich.
I don't need you to speak. I can speak on this one. There are some places, especially if you go on the street and you buy something, and you return the things. When you return, you can't find the seller. When you go back to some places. So guess what? And I know you have also good after sale service. So guess what? If you want to go buy, push the bag and go hug up it in your yard, you can stay there. Go to a place, a reputable place where you can go back to them. They can give you advice. And I would say, careful. You don't want to become first poor. So you go to FosRich and you save a little money. And you not only be FosRich, you will be first richer.
Oh, my
Mr.
goodness.
Cecil Foster.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I do
thank you
this for
too.
you because I
And
find that you're a good somebody.